there's the patient, and tonight we are going to try and do the mod to an original front-loading NES that allows it to remove the lockout chip or disable the lockout chip that causes the red blinking light and often causes games to misfire when you load them. So I wanted to show you that it does work, in fact, in case this whole surgery works out. I want to make sure you understand that it is in working order. So we'll power it on. This isn't my best NES, that's why it's going to be the test case for this surgery. So we got Carnov running here. Oh yeah, good old Carnov. Good, depending on your perception. I'm playing one-handed here, so you get the idea. It works. No blinking red light. But the first step is to remove 6 screws, I believe, from the unit. So watch and learn. Let's see how this goes. At some point I'll probably fast forward the video. Yep. We're at go time, people. There are screws here and here. There's 2. There's a 3rd one there. And then there's 2 more along the side. 1, 2. So that's a total of 5. And then there are 2 more back here. I don't know if you can see, there's 1. And there's another right there. So that's a 7. 7 screws around the metal shield. So we're gonna do our best to get these out quickly. So I'll work my way around and try and keep it in camera so you can see. But it seems to no problem. I no problem. But I know you can sometimes short things out and work inside the machines. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But you should probably touch the screwdriver. Something about the case inside the screw around. You're so important. But I think I'm not really explain it poorly. And love the opportunity to learn things correctly. The basic point is you could break this stuff, and I'm well aware that this experiment tonight could end up with a broken NES. Although after reading about it online, it seemed like something I could probably handle even as a very, very unskilled technician. Okay, I think I got them all. I think that's at 7. We went around the case. There's no screws to remove on this side with the cartridge slot, so we'll call it a day there. Okay, I think I can remove the, yep, and off we go. Set that aside. Now the black cartridge platform needs to come out. It's got a total of 6 screws. I'll point them out for you there. 1, 2, right there. And then another right there. I don't know how well you can see it there. Another there. And then 2 more right there. So we're going to do those next. The hole there, note to self, that screw is longer, so the longer screw goes in the second to the end hole. Now let's check out this other screw. Yeah, the second to the end screw is longer on the back of the cartridge case. We're free. This piece, the 72-pin connector, is very snug when you remove that. So the underneath there, this ridge or whatever you want to call it was mounted. So I had to kind of pull it back and toward the front of the unit, toward the power buttons of the unit. So there's your tip on that. You really had to kind of wiggle it out on mine. I replaced this. Now this is another easy fix, really, just as a side note, that you can change out and oftentimes gets an NES working better. It's one of the most common things that causes an NES problem, that the teeth that grab the cartridge become loose, and you can replace them. You can get the parts on eBay for very cheap. I believe I need to unscrew a screw right here, because this guy is very firmly wedged and it appears to be connected to the board. I could be wrong, but I think that board is connected to the... I'm going to take that screw out. And note to self, this is up, but there's a screw on the other side. Move quickly. There we go. Got it. Let's see now. Can we flip it? Yeah, that was it. That guy was the last one holding it down. Uh-oh, we got things coming apart. Zeroing on how I can get the shielding away from the board. There we go. There's some ribbon cables there that I could probably disconnect. I'm not going to try that right now because I want to be careful. But I am in a bad way sort of here for a place to set the board. So I'm sort of propping the board on the 72-pin connector across the edge of the case because I don't want to take it out. There's wires going into the controller ports. Here you can see. So there's a lot going on here, and I don't really want to mess with it too much. Now the key. Now we figure out where we're looking, and if my understanding is correct, wow, it is smaller than I thought. This is going to be tricky. Right here, I believe, is the lockout chip, or at least the chip that we need to mod. It is very tiny. It is, we're talking little, maybe two-thirds of an inch right there. Mine has the numbers 3193A on it, and I am looking at a graphic online of the chip as I speak to you, and that matches what I see. So it looks like I need to take out the 4th pin. Now, this is going to be tricky to show you, but that's the point of making a video, isn't it? I may need to stop the video and go get an even smaller screwdriver. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're talking the 4th pin in. 1, 2, 3, 4. You count, there's a tiny, tiny leg on the very end. I don't know how well you can see this, but I'm doing my best. And then you're going to give it 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side nearer to this metal area, and you just break it. You could solder it away, but that's really detailed soldering. I'm going to try and get a pair of pliers going there. I got myself a really fine pair of tweezers here. I'm going to step into the tweezer now. I think I'm just going to try and manhandle this one up. I don't know any other way to do this. All right, well, I didn't know it, but I think I got it. I didn't see the leg go, and frankly, I don't know where it went. But there doesn't appear. The leg appears to be completely sheared away, and I didn't see the maybe when I watch the rewind, I'll see it happen, but I know the angle isn't very good on what I'm doing here. There's no longer anything to grab. The other thing, you see the hole, kinda, where there's 2 legs and then there's an empty space. I don't know if it's clear on the video, but it's hard to tell that the leg is gone. It disappeared, sort of. So now to put it back together and see if we wrecked it or if we got a working NES so we can play some games with a little more reliability. on a system that was already somewhat clunky, but maybe this will make it a like, smidge better, and we'll learn something too. Just a tip, I'm running low on battery, so I'm conserving it by turning off the film. But I wanted to show you one thing. Putting this back together, I still don't know if it works yet, but as I was reconstructing it, the metal shielding that I was mentioning before, the so-called final piece before you get down to the bottom, I may not have it fitted exactly correctly, and it's causing, when you're reattaching the cartridge slot, so to speak, it caused some difficulty in getting some of the screws back in. So I had to like kind of align things manually in order to get the screws to thread and then bind to the lower pieces of the board and such. So just a tip, getting that metal shield off and on may be one of the bigger challenges, in fact, of this project, and cross our fingers it all holds together once we get it back together. Okay, and back where we started, we're all hooked up and ready to go. There is the patient zero. And let's see what happens when we fire it up. We got Karnov, people. We got Karnov. No blinking light. Now, I'm gonna admit, I tested it before I fired this back up to show you that it worked. Obviously to make sure I had it right and that this wasn't gonna be a huge fail video. And what I wanna say is that this isn't a really great test because Karnov isn't a game that gives me a lot of problems. It's a fully licensed Nintendo game on the Nintendo system, I should say, and it is not something like a game you can see sitting just to the right of the television, Baby Boomer, which is a fully unlicensed video game and a pretty good Zapper game, I have to say. I mean, if your tolerance for Zapper games is high. And I tested that several times. I didn't get any blinking red lights, so the fix we attempted tonight did indeed work. But unfortunately, the test isn't good, isn't great because this nest, this specific nest that I was operating on, isn't one of the ones that tends to work very well. As I said before, the 72-pin connector doesn't seem to be in very good shape. And so I can't really prove to you that, like, oh, look, all my unlicensed games work now. That's not something I'm going to be able to show you. But it's more the fault of this specific NES and its internal technology than the operation we performed. I may attempt this on my slightly better front-loader NES in the future and see if, in that case, I can get it running. Yeah, if you were wondering, that is a working Arkanoid dial controller. I had to pay a guy to repair that for me, but it does work. Yeah, a little tidbit for you. So, yeah, that's it. We successfully manhandled one of the fourth pin out of the lockout chip, and we're ready to go here. This NES is back in working order. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was informative. Thanks.